last week, we were able to look at all these basic formulas and some one or two advanced formulas in Excel. And with this week, you have to look at, ideally this one should have been part of week 1, but I think the things you have to look at, there are many, so you probably can't finish all within the scheduled time, but I'll also make time for that. Alright, so we have to now look at filtering and sorting data in Excel, and these formulas, the lookup, anyway, I sometimes call them formulas, but they're actually functions. They are pre-made functions in Excel for you, so you can just pick them up and use them. Alright, then for data cleaning, you won't be having a dedicated class for data cleaning, because data cleaning is something you'll be doing often. Whatever data you have to always make sure it's clean before you can actually start your analysis on that particular data. Alright, so let's look at the data but I'll do a quick cleanup. So I'll copy. I want to keep the actual data, so I'll just create a copy of that in this same sheet. Let's say cleaned. So clean. So as I said, you'll be doing the clean as well along the way, so you wouldn't have to dedicate another time to be doing cleaning. So I'm deleting the columns I don't need. So here, sorry, the rows I don't need. But I'm not going to explain this, because I think I want us to hurry up with the lookup, so that you are not wasting a lot of time on that. So I don't want to take time to explain this. You look at that later. So here I'm just deleting the columns that I don't need and the rows. Okay, so all these NAs, I'll take them off. Alright, so let's check the formats of the dates. Okay, so I think I'll maintain it this way, so I'll put a filter here. Anyway, it's not entirely cleaned, but I'll maintain it this way so that you can work with it. So here I'll name it cleaned 2017 sales data. Then I'll bring in another data set. So here we have the product IDs here. Okay, so we have the product IDs, and okay, let me delete this column, I don't need it. You have the product IDs here, and you want to be able to bring in, you have the stores ID, you have the sales, you have revenue, but you realize that there's nothing about the type of product we are selling in this particular data set. So based on the product ID, based on all these product IDs, I want us to bring in the product that we are selling. Let's say the product, let's say brand. This data is fine, so I want to bring in a different data set. As I said, I want us to bring in the product brand. Okay, so that maybe when you want to do our analysis, we're able to know which product is selling, which product is not selling, and you can even bring in the other things. So let me check what you can bring in here. So you have product hierarchy here, so let me open that. Product hierarchy, I think it's opened here. Alright, so this is the product hierarchy data. So I'll copy this. Anyway, I can also do a lookup across the be overly complex, so I want to copy this and paste it in the, where is it, paste it here. Okay, so I'll paste it here as values. So you just have one workbook but different sheets. Alright, so here is product. Product hierarchy. Product hierarchy. Anyway, let me just leave it as products. So I'll leave that one like that. So let me expand the columns. So these are the product brands. So I want us to bring in these product brands, or even if you want to bring the types, you have these product types, marigold, potato, whatever. So these are the product types, and also you have the product categories here. Okay, you have the product categories here. So what I want to do is to use VLOOKUP to bring in this product brand here. Okay, so what we have to now start is to write our formula. VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP and the lookup value is here. So always, this is our lookup value. That is what you are going to search for in the table array. So you are going to search for the product ID in the product table over here. Just take notice of this. After you've selected your lookup value, you have nothing to do with the main data. So let me explain it again. This clean 2017 sales data, take that one as the parent data. Okay, take this one as the parent data, and take this product sheet, take that one too as the child data. So in this parent data, I want to bring in the product brand from the child data. I'll go ahead with my formula, which is the VLOOKUP, and as I said, the lookup value is what you are going to compare in the table array. Okay, what you are going to compare in the table array. So you have the lookup value selected, you bring a comma, and after you've selected your lookup value, you have nothing to do with the parent data again. Just go straight to the child data. That is when you have multiple sheets, or even when you have different workbooks. So here I'll ignore the first part. I won't add the header, so I'll select from A2, so the end of the data, and go to the right of the data. So I have everything captured over here. So this is our table array. You've selected everything here. You can see A2 to E700. So all that range is selected. And when we are done, the column index also will come from the child data. So here you have the product brand, but before that you have the product ID, which is the first column. In programming language, you start with indexing from 0, but in Excel it's still 1. Here, if you are counting this way, it's still 1. So you have the product ID as 1, column number 1, and also column number 2, that will be product brand. So I'll put 2 here. Okay, I'll bring a comma. Then the type of match we want, you don't want to approximate things. If it's the actual data there, just give us the actual data. So we want to do an exact match, and with an exact match you can either put false there or just put 0 there. So I'll enter 0, then I'll press enter. Okay, so now here we have our lookup value, from the product table or sheet. So we've been able to bring in this from that. So now all I want to do is to copy down. So I'll double click and it's able to copy down to the end of the data, but you realize that we are still seeing some NAs. Okay, so let's find a way. How do you fix these NAs in there? So with that is when you have to lock the data. So you realize that A2 to E700, I've not locked it, so I will lock this range from A2 to E700. The range I selected, all this range, this is the range. So this part, this is the range from the child data. So this range has to be locked. So I will come here. Okay, I will highlight that part, then use the function key and F4, and after that you see that it wraps A into dollar, sorry, it wraps A in a dollar sign and also wraps E in a dollar sign. So it tells you that the row A and the column A and row 2, it's now logged, and also up to the column in between there, up to column E and row 700, all the columns within that range, all of them are now logged. So now I'll accept that changes here by clicking here. Okay, so let me escape. I think I did let me lock it again. It didn't lock well. Maybe I was so. All right, so let me accept it here. All right. Oh, I did it for the wrong. Wow. So let's do it again. Okay, so for the first data, all right, so I think that is locked. So now I want to copy down again, so let me undo it. All you have to do is double click this green square icon here. So you double click and it's able to copy down, but this time around I think all the NAs are no more. It's able to pick everything that matches a particular product ID from the child data. So this one, I think this one is working fine. Maybe I want us to try our hands on another thing. So you want to also bring in the, let's say, the product type. You have the type here, so let's create another column here. So I'll insert and I'll give it a type, or let's say product type. So I'll go ahead and write my formula VLOOKUP in here. I'll also pick my lookup value. Okay, so that is the lookup value. I pick my lookup value, and as I said earlier, when you are done selecting your lookup value, just don't do anything on the parents data again. Just go to the child data. Okay, so the child data, I will select my table array, which is the range where I will be searching for the lookup value. So I select everything, and this time around I will just want to lock it right away before I even continue with the other things I need to provide. So I will now use function fn, the fn key function, and F4, and it's logged. So I want to continue with the column index. the column index, if you check the product data, I think that one was 3 or so, so I'll put 3 there, but you have to verify that. I don't want to lose whatever I've done here, so I'll go back and verify. But let's finish it up. So the type of match, you still want to do an exact match, so you put 0 there and you close your formula. Okay, so now it's able to pick the product type. Let's confirm the column. So the column is 1, 2, 3. That is the product type. Okay, so it's able to pick the product type that actually matches this product ID. Okay, so here, since I've already logged, I can just now copy down, and I'm not expecting to see any NAs in here. Alright, so I think everything is fine with this as well. Okay, so we realize that whatever we are doing, it's more or less like there should be some relationship between the two tables. Okay, there should be some relationship between the two tables. If you check the products table, please, if you don't understand, just pay attention to this one. Check the product table. There's this product ID here. Okay, there's this product ID, and also check the sales data or table over here. There's this product ID as well. This product ID is here. So if you observe these lookups that we've done, you are picking the product ID as our lookup value. Why the product ID as the lookup value and not any other item on this particular sheet? Is there anyone who can maybe share his idea why we decided to pick the product ID and not any other data from this sheet? Any idea?
Is it because the product ID is unique? Is it because the product ID is unique?
Okay, who is speaking? Sorry, I am not able to see you. Is it Kwame?
Yeah, I'm saying, is it because the product ID is unique? Yeah, I'm saying, is it because the product ID
okay,
is
you see that there's product ID column here. Okay, have you seen the product table or product sheet? There's product ID column here, right? And over here too, there's product ID column. So as I talked about relationship, there should be something linking them together. If there's no linkage, if there's nothing that link the two tables or is common, okay, let me use this. If there's nothing that is common between the two tables, there's no way I can perform a lookup, because it's basically, you are basically telling Excel that, okay, go and check. Okay, I'm telling Excel, okay, pick this product ID, go and check the product table. If the ID is found, give me the brand. Okay, if this ID is found, you are telling Excel to give you this brand, which is Mary Light Biscuits. It should give you that brand from this sheet. So this is basically what you did. That, oh, okay, I've seen this product ID, I want to see the product brand that is associated with this product ID, but before that, these brands weren't in the sales data. These ones weren't here, so I'll delete them. I'll just delete them. Okay, they are not here. They are not here. You have the sales data. You have all you have is the product ID and other things here. But now you want to be able to perform some analysis into, okay, which products are selling, which products are not selling, which product types should I focus more on, and all those questions that you want to find answers to. So now, which columns are very common or common amongst the two sheets that you want to compare? So here, I want to bring in the product type, or let's say brand. I insert, maybe I just type brand, and here, so far as I know the product ID, and there's also the product ID here, it becomes very easy to perform your lookup. But assuming that this product ID column is deleted, it's no more here, it's not here, there's no way I can perform any lookup from this sheet and get this product brand into this sheet. It's not possible. So I have to find a unique column that is common among the two sheets. Okay, so over here, as Prepara said, there's also that kind of uniqueness. Okay, if you have maybe if you have duplicated product ID, you end up with duplicated values as well. So that's why we use the product ID for the lookup. So let me bring it back here. And let's do our lookup value. Let's do our lookups again. So I'll start VLOOKUP. I'll pick my lookup value from here. Then I'm done with this sheet. All the rest has to do with this one. So I'll pick the range or the table array. I'll lock it here, and the column I want is the column 2 from the product ID, which is the product from the product table, which is the product brand. Then I want an exact match, so I enter and I'm done, and I just copy down. I have the brand here by the help of the product IDs among the two columns. Okay, or in the two columns. So let me highlight them. You see this is the column, these are the common columns. Okay, so without these two columns, it becomes very difficult for me to perform a lookup and get these values here. Other than that, there's no way I can do that. So let's do the last lookup on this particular data. So let's do the type again. So the same formula, VLOOKUP, and I'll go and pick the same product ID as my lookup value. Then I'm done with this sheet. I'll go to the other sheet. Now select everything here for my product, or for my lookup array or the table array. So here I'll lock it as usual. I'll lock it. Then I need to specify the column, which is 3, the product type in the product data. I will now do exact match, close it and press enter. So I have the value here, copy down, and I'm done. So this is basically how you can use VLOOKUP, in or across multiple sheets. But you can also have two different workbooks. This you just have everything on the same workbook. Okay, so you have this clean 2017 sales data and the product. You have everything on the same workbook. But when you are dealing with different workbooks, it's also the same concept. So here, let's see if I can pick any other thing from one of the data I have here already. So you have to let's see, let's check the store cities data and see if there's any product ID. Okay, so I see store ID. You realize that there's also store ID here, right? There's store ID in the 2017 sales data. So now this time around, I want to use this store ID. I want to use this store ID to bring in a different data set from the store cities. Over here, these are the store cities. So now I want to bring in the state and the city ID. Okay, I want to bring in the state and the city ID into the sales data. So here, let's go back to the sales. So now I'll insert another column here. So let's say city. Let me just name city, and I'll now do my VLOOKUP. Here there are different workbooks, so just observe how they work. So I'll pick the lookup value and bring my comma. Then I'll go to the other sheet. This is the other sheet. So this is the store city. So I'll select everything here. You see that there are different workbooks, but it's still, we are still able to use it. But automatically, you see that over here, it already lock the range for you. The range are already locked because you are performing it from different workbooks. It's already locked. Then I want to bring in the cities and the states. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the column index will be 5. Sorry, will be 5, and I want an exact match. So I'm done. You see that you're able to bring in, let me get the right name. Is it city or states? So that is state and abbreviated, and the city as well. So let me just copy the title, the header here, and paste it here. Alright, so you have the state and the abbreviations as well. So here I can just copy down, and I have everything here into the sales data. Meanwhile, I didn't have to do it from the same workbook. This is across workbooks, 2 different workbooks, and we are performing a VLOOKUP on it. So that is it about VLOOKUPs. So here XLOOKUP is basically the same concept, but it fixes some of the issues. So if the columns happens to change, you will not have any issue. So here let's try and change the orientation of this product type. Okay, you brought in the product type in the sales data. We have this. Okay, we have this, but then I want to change the orientation of this. I want to pick it from here and send it backwards. So I've changed the orientation. So let's check the sales. Let's check the sales data. You see that it's giving us the dimensions. Meanwhile, the column header says type. Okay, so it's, even though it's picking up, but it's giving us the wrong information. The index has changed. In this case, the index is now, if you check the product data, the index is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you check our sales, the index is still 3. The column index is still 3. So if you want to fix, you have to now change it to 5. Press enter. Oh no, you shouldn't be getting errors here. Let's check. Let me confirm this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now Is it 4? 1 2 3 4. Okay. Oh, sorry, my battery is running down. Okay, so I think if you check here, B2, where is B2? You see, it's picking it from here, so ideally it should be B2. It should be A2 here. Let me confirm the product types. It's giving us the category rather. So here, okay, 4 5. Let's check for 2. Okay, so then 3 and 4 and 5. I don't know why 5 is giving us an error, or you probably have to save that. Let me check again. Oh, okay. So the reason why we are getting that error, because that is not captured in our selection. I just observed that it's not captured in our selection. If you check here, you see that it's up to, our selection is up to D700. Okay, our selection here is up to A2 to D700, but let me highlight. When you come here, here is E, is column E, so it doesn't capture that part. I think that was basically some of the issues you had earlier. So here I'll change this D to E, then I'll commit it, then I'll now have to change this 2 to 5 to, okay, so now it's able to give you the type. So when you are using this, I think you have to be extra careful. When the columns are changing here and there, you might have issues. So that is basically about VLOOKUPs, and I think my battery is almost running down, but let me quickly see if we can look at the X. So here I'll create another column here. Let's see, let's do XLOOKUP, lookup of the brand as well. I'll just look up the same thing. So here I'll go with XLOOKUP, and there's still also the lookup value, so it would be the same product ID. Then there's a lookup array. Okay, so here the lookup array, we are also done with this parent data. So let's go to the product, the lookup array, which is, you want to compare the product ID in the sales data to the product ID in the product data. So I'll just select everything, bring my comma. Okay, then the return array, after you've selected or you've done your checks, okay, it's the product ID 0000 matching the product ID 000 in the product table. If yes, what should I return? So now I want to return the product brand, so I'll select the whole column, then I'll bring another comma. Then here, if not found, you can leave that one blank, you can leave it. So I will not provide that, so I'll just close it, then press enter. Okay, so now it's also able to give us the product brand with the XLOOKUP. So here, let me check, are we having any NS? No NA. But even here, realize that I didn't even log anything here, but it's able to give us everything. There are no NS in here for XLOOKUP.